your small business is booming and ready to expand, you might say something like,
"It's happening!
Booyah!
Yeah!
Crushed it.
But if you need someone who can actually help protect your growing business, just say,
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, your State Farm agent can help you get the coverage you need for your new space. For your small business insurance needs, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast. Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Jennif Keable. Jennif Keable, a dedicated fulfillment strategist and coach, empowers women leaders and teams to unlock their professional potential. With her expertise, clients achieve remarkable results and experience transformative growth. Through Jennif's guidance, clients break free from self-imposed limitations, embracing new challenges and opportunities for professional development. They develop unwavering self-confidence, recognizing their worth and attributing their successes to their own efforts and skills. Well, good afternoon, Jennif. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Brian. It's wonderful to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.
That's so awesome, of course. And I'm glad that you are able to jump on a podcast with me. Sometimes it's hard based on time zones and so forth, but you're hailing out of the great country of Canada and that Calgary area. And we appreciate you so much for doing that. So thank you.
Yes, right back at you, Brian.
So Jennif, let's just jump right into it here. We've got some great questions for you today. Let's talk a little bit about your career so we can give everybody kind of that foundation. Had your careers in as a coach, business owner, speaker. Now you're the high performance coach of the New You Mindset and Life Coaching Corporation. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
My secret to growth has always been finding a mentor, right? So someone who has achieved what I want to achieve and having them help to teach me and guide me along the way. So I look at this really in both ways. I see it as a business mentor as well as a personal coach. So I definitely am one, but I believe in hiring my own as well. So from a business mentor, I believe that they are able to provide the insight, the experience, and leverage years of knowledge that I haven't had the opportunity to yet gain myself so that I can become that bigger thinker, that strategizer. They can help me see things that I might not see on my own. So for me, hiring a business mentor or coach has been exponential in terms of building my business and helping it to grow. And then same from a personal standpoint. So as an entrepreneur, Brian, I'm sure that you have witnessed this as well as yourself, but there is a lot of our insecurities come up in our professional life, right? So for me, it's about becoming more aware of those and understanding them, processing through them so that they're not hindering me or holding me back, but instead allowing me to feel them, acknowledge that they're there, and then move through them and take the action that I need to help me grow personally, but also to help my business grow. And I would say that's the career growth side. And then what was your second question again there, Brian?
Really, what inspires you? What drives you to get out of bed every day?
Yeah. So I am a very goal-oriented person. When I don't have goals, I'm feeling not a lot of motivation, kind of just puttering through, keeping myself busy for the sake of being busy. But I am way inspired when I have goals. So for me, I set weekly goals to make sure that I have something constantly that I'm striving towards. I write it down. I keep track of how I'm doing so that I can note my progress. And I would say the other thing that inspires me is people who live authentically, right? So those people who show up in their quirky, different way of being, who really define success on their own terms instead of how society defines success, right? So I see society success as, colored by the dollar figures and reaching a certain job status or title and responsibility and just really all of that external factor. Well, whereas those people that are living authentically, although that might be part of their life, they also really go inward and find a way that success feels as good as what it looks. So goals and people who live authentically highly inspire me.
That's awesome. Thank you. And I've said it probably 600 times at least now on this podcast that people truly is really what makes the world go round. We talk about all kinds of platforms and different things we do in our careers and our business. But at the end of the day, people inspire people. And that's just awesome. Jennif, let's switch a little bit here and get into really what one of the things you're passionate about. You're a woman life and leadership coach who's passionate about supporting women in their journey towards wellness, balance, and fulfillment. Could you tell us more about the different ways you work with and serve women in changing their lives?
Thank you for this question. So there are a number of different ways that I work with women. And I would say that my ultimate favorite way is working one-on-one with women. And the reason why it is my favorite is because time and time again, I see the most incredible transformations in the women who invest the time to work with me on a one-to-one basis. So that would mean that we get to meet weekly and really work through their current set of challenges while keeping in mind their end goals, right? What is it that they want to achieve from a professional standpoint as well as a personal standpoint? And just seeing what unfolds keeps me going. But beyond that, I know that that one-on-one is not necessarily for everyone. And so there's a few other ways that I work with women. One of them is called the Whole Woman Sanctuary. And that is actually a newer program that I've offered. It launched May 1st. And it is a beautiful space where people can go in and access tools, guided journals, time management tools, a whole bunch of different techniques, everything up to an hour and 15-minute coaching lesson that they can access on their own time. But there's also a community as part of it. So people can access the Facebook group, and it's a private group only for the people in there. And it's really a place to just be authentic and ask the scary questions or show up and support or ask for accountability. And then there's the Whole Women's Collective, which we meet on a weekly basis. And I teach on a personal development tool. And then there's time for like diving deep into the topic. So we'll provide guided reflection questions that the women will have time to do. And then they come back and they share their stories together. And just the connections that are built on these calls is quite incredible. And then lastly, what I've been offering lately is actually workshop facilitation within professional environments, right? So oftentimes organizations will hire me to host a workshop for their people. And that's another beautiful opportunity that I've been able to connect with both men and women.
That's awesome. And thank you for kind of breaking that down for us. We do know people sometimes face life challenges and they can't always take those on themselves. So we have people like you that kind of whip us into shape and make us overcome those things that really scare some of us. Yeah. So thank you. So Jennifer, we generally talk about emerging tech here on this platform. We're an emerging tech platform and podcast. And I imagine in your business, you probably don't work with tech every single day, but we'd like to ask you, I'm sure you found a cool tool or app you found useful you might share with us today.
Yeah, I would say the piece that comes to mind for me is actually ChatGPT. So I was a big, I didn't really see the focus or the craze on it all until one day I decided to actually really give it a try and not just say I gave it a try. But oh my gosh, it is actually incredible and can save you incredible amounts of time. Sometimes even in the morning, right? I'm not a huge morning person. Sometimes I feel like it takes a little while for my brain to turn on. I know the idea that I'm searching for, or that I want to say. It might be an email. It might be the title of something. And I'll put it in ChatGPT. And it's not always exactly what I want, but I'm able to work through it and just talk to it like a human and ask the right questions. And the things that it comes up with blows my mind. And so that has been a beautiful saving grace on time. Two more simple things. One is just Spotify. I know it's not new and emerging, but I listen to it every morning as I'm getting ready. I'll usually listen to a podcast that inspires me. And I find that it really just sets the tone for the day. It allows me to show up in the mindset that allows me to be the most productive, the most effective, to really be the most powerful. And then this one's not a technology app, but it definitely is a tool. Journaling, like handwriting, journaling, I find incredibly powerful. And if anyone ever wants to talk about it or get some questions, feel free to reach out to me because journaling has absolutely changed my life.
Yeah. And I've heard that from a lot of people. Journaling is very life-changing, honestly. And they actually have apps for that now, as you know. So I appreciate you sharing that. Jennifer, last question of the day. Could you share something from your career experience that would be helpful for those listening, looking to grow their career?
Absolutely. So one thing I would say that is one of my strengths is that I have always created the opportunities that I've desired. So for example, in past jobs, there might not necessarily be an opening in a position that I would love to be in, but I go and ask about it. I ask if there can be an opportunity. And it has been quite incredible, the opportunities that have been created, the promotions that have happened because I have asked for them. So I just really encourage anybody who, thinks that they would love to be in this other position, but it doesn't exist, to start the conversation and to apply for those positions that you don't think you're qualified for. That has always been one of my mandates throughout my entire career. I've always applied for positions that are like way beyond what other people my age are applying for. And the experiences and the career, the jobs that I have gotten because of it have been absolutely profound.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages, whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else, not even us. WhatsApp, message privately.
That's awesome. Thank you. And we've had some guests that would share the same type of sentiment around that. And you're really inspiring those people in our audience, those women, that they need to take that plunge and just go for it. So I appreciate everything that you shared with us today. And Jennifer, it was a pleasure having you on today. And I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Brian. I completely appreciate you.
Bye for now.
McCrispy strips are now at McDonald's. I hope you're ready for the most dippable chicken in McDonald's history. Dip it in all the sauces. Dip it in that hot sauce in your bag. Dip it in your McFlurry. Your dip is your business. McCrispy strips at McDonald's.